Data is everywhere. But data isn't just a thing on its own, rather, it's a fingerprint of an action. For businesses and those interested in gaining insight through the use of data, you should change your perspective and think of data as the evidence of your everyday. Data can be collected from nearly every aspect of your company and combined into a system through which clarity is gained and informed actions taken. But the amount of data you can capture from your business is nothing compared to the data currently available from around the world, including everything from weather tracking, trends and historical patterns, movements of people or products by air, land, and sea, population growth and migrations of not just humans but other species on Earth, technology permeations, adoptions and avoidance, social and economic movements, indices and conversions, crime and unrest, land values and turnover, employment rate, sociological sentiment, media exposure and activism. The list just goes on, and it's getting bigger. Every day we actively measure more things than we ever have in history. The whole world is being recorded in real time. In the last couple decades, we've finally begun writing it all down and creating tools and processes to corral the seemingly insurmountable volume into useful and insightful bits of knowledge. In essence, you can now use all of this available data as a currency to buy even more profound awareness and open up opportunities to take staggeringly informed actions. But what if we take the advancements we've made in data discovery and analytics and applied it to the world in general? How could we, for instance, track the current 2016 outbreak of the Zika virus, and what could we potentially do with that insight? Well, let's find out. Bardess Group, a data analytics systems integrator, has been working with Click and Cloudera to put together an application to track the news and spreading of the Zika virus. You can access this application yourself by navigating to demos.bardesscloud.com and clicking on Zika. This application combines several sources of data. Virus data from the U.S. Center for Disease Control, World Health Organization, and many other health organizations around the world shows us the confirmed and suspected infections and deaths attributed to the virus. Daily air travel data from and to countries affected by the Zika virus shows us potential outbreak scenarios. Mosquito population data from the Aedes species, which is a Zika-carrying mosquito. Weather data for the affected countries assists us in understanding the level at which the Aedes mosquito may breed or spread. IBM Watson integration to retrieve news articles which are then brought into Click to analyze in conjunction with all the rest of the relevant data. And, for the purposes of this demonstration, treatment product inventory for healthcare providers in the state of Texas. In this scenario, we can view the countries with confirmed cases of Zika infections and combine that with our air travel data to uncover the number of daily flights from affected countries to the United States. Knowing there are so many daily flights to the United States from affected countries, we can now view the confirmed cases of Zika in the United States, and also the travel-associated cases, where exposed travelers are returning from affected areas and infants who were infected in utero. The state of Texas is reporting over 100 travel cases. Drilling down to the county level of Texas, we display the list of healthcare providers, the number of cases they've reported, and the inventory levels of their three main products used to treat Zika. Focusing in on the top 5, we can very quickly identify that product 3 needs resupply, and after a quick phone call, we can get that taken care of, just like that. And this just brushes the surface of insights and solutions available. It really depends on your objectives. More and more, organizations and institutions are notified of issues or incidents via social media or news outlets. Many blogs and media websites syndicate important press releases in near real time. In case that's not enough, advanced machine learning via IBM Watson is being brought to bear on news articles related to Zika to gain a better understanding of related issues, public sentiment, and the spread of the disease. You can get to the news before the news gets to you. Over the last 90 days, Bardess has been closely monitoring possible native transmissions spreading to the areas of the United States, notably to Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. Clearly, native transmissions are now occurring in Florida, but others are taking note and calling for likely transmission through the rest of the Gulf Coast, as our data indicates. As you can probably imagine, this is a significant amount of data, with an equally significant data model. But as with anything of this magnitude, it really comes down to experience, a well thought out process, and the utilization of the right tools for the job. After all, the more data, insightful information, and capable tools we have at our disposal, the larger the problems we can solve. Imagine what we can solve together.